Finding a server, and we are live. Here we go. Nice.
Hello, world.
So, yes, I was expecting folks to take a little bit of time to actually log in because of server-related update, but it seems everyone got in pretty quick. Nice. Very good. Very good.
Very good.
Which goes to prove, really. He says entirely rhetorically.
Which just goes to show, despite the computer's best effort, sometimes they do it right.
Yes. Okay. Well, damn, yes. If it's Mike's last week with us next week, then I think I will have to push that episode forward then. Make it a special one. Okay.
Very special episode.
Run a space western.
I sadly am one of those people who committed the utmost sci-fi atrocity and have not ever, and don't intend to, watch Firefly.
Oh my god.
Yes, quite. But I do actually have Serenity on DVD, so I'm partway there.
Honestly, wasn't a fan of Firefly.
Oh my god.
Not angry, just as
well. If he wasn't leaving before, Mike's definitely leaving now.
Yeah, everything's changed now that I've heard this.
And they say Farscape for life.
I've known you all for over a year, and this is what it came to.
So it's come to this.
That's right. Farscape, Firefly.
You know what? Everyone's going to start saying that Babylon 5 is the best sci-fi show ever.
That was a good show.
But
I was.
I don't know why
Yeah.
it's a competition. It just was.
Yeah, I mean, they're all good shows.
I've watched that by the time I kind of like found out I missed the first few years. By the time I looked at getting into it, there was like about 5 years of backstory, and I was just lazy.
That was the main thing of Babylon 5, was that it was a set story that had chapters laid out. So J. Michael Straczynski did a very good job of mapping the whole thing out.
It's one of the most rewatchable series.
Absolutely. And I still haven't completed my entire box set collection on that. I've got to take care of that one day. Anyway. I will look at these messages flitting past me, and they're all about Firefly and Farscape, so okay.
Yep.
In that case...
The one I'm not sure of whether it's from Fazanan's logs, because it's we may experience some slight turbulence and then explode.
Good old Fazanan. Right, I'll take us to the intro video, and then we'll come right back, so excuse us folks, we'll be back in just a couple of moments.
Yeah,
It's not the
it goes to arbitration. We've seen that. Was a person died, and because they signed up for
Disney
thingy
Plus,
like years ago, they agreed to all Disney products to agree to arbitration.
and that's been kicked out of arbitration as that's
Yeah, it's been changed, hasn't it? Yeah, it's illegal. It's one of the few things that Disney have got pulled off on.
I didn't know it's been ruled illegal. I know they basically went just to avoid looking worse. They agreed for that case to not go to arbitration. But I didn't know it got thrown out completely and policy reversed.
There we are, folks. Disney. They are evil. But I'm still going to watch the new Captain America film. Any hoops! Welcome, folks, to the continuing adventures of the USS Navis. I'm MJ, the GM, and I will be your games master for the next couple of hours. And with me are the Navis crew. Now, we were in the middle. I say in the middle. We had more or less just started a new mission where, whilst on patrol of the border between the Federation and the Dominion, the Navis picked up coded transmissions coming out of Dominion space, heading into Federation space, which apparently was due to a communications array that may very well be malfunctioning. And so, the Navis crew have decided to take a look and try infiltrating the communications array in order to see if they can snatch some interesting intel off of it. Especially because some of the communication signal that was coming out of the communication array seemed to indicate something about an imminent invasion plan. So,
if I remember correctly, we'd actually hacked into their comms. We were recording actually every bit of information we could get about how the communications system worked. So we actually have records of it.
Keeping an open monitor as to what's going on there, but their communications are encrypted, which is why you're only getting pieces. Plus, there's also the fact that the communication array is malfunctioning, and therefore bad bits of data are being sent out, which is corrupting the message also. So, we have traveled to the Marva system, which is where this communications array is located. You managed to duck past some Jem'Hadar patrol ships, whilst also engaging the ship in cloak, and have very sneakily maneuvered the Navis up to the communication array. And next it was a case of how to get the information you're after off of the comm array. Last I remember being told, there was an away mission planned where certain members of the bridge crew were going to try and board the communications array by just essentially walking out of an airlock. The ultimate stealth. Especially since, yes, the Jem'Hadar have got means of detecting ships under cloak. So the less attention you attract, the better. So at the moment, the Navis is also going in stealth mode, I suppose you could call it. Quiet. Silent running,
All
that's what I
hands,
was looking
silent
for.
running.
That's it.
Lights to low and close the windows.
Yeah. So, also due to discussions that were had last time, we are looking to throw this back to using first edition rules. But before we do that completely, I'm going to do a gradual kind of phase in of it. So, what I'm doing now is, I think we'll keep the whole determination system the way it currently works, where each character's only got one determination. If you want more, you get them back by making things more difficult for yourself. I like that system a little better because it encourages use of values and making life more difficult for yourselves. Due to popular demand, I will be bringing back stress tracks as a means of tracking folks' ability to avoid damage, and that includes NPCs as well. Just to make combat here a bit more, shall we say, fraught. We'll see how it goes. But largely for the moment we'll be keeping the second edition rules as second edition rules, and we'll move everything over to first edition rules the next time we meet up, which will probably at this rate be next week, due to a certain science officer sadly having his shipping orders to elsewhere. So yeah.
But he will be giving weekends off.
Well, weekends might be
Hooray, quality
problematic
of
for
life.
some. We'll see. We'll have to see how it goes. Either way. So, before we proceed, anything that folks want me to bring back that they think they've forgotten, or anything at all, really? Anything that I forgot to note? Anything that you guys have forgotten that you need reminding, or that I need reminding of?
If I could think of one, I'd tell you.
Cool. In that case, according to who we've got currently stacked up on the bridge, the away team consists of Captain Andrews, Lieutenant Nova, Lieutenant Ori, Commander Bravo of Security, Lieutenant Natik, and new recruit Ensign Cruz. Which of course leaves Commander Vipers in charge of the ship whilst the away team gain access to the communications array. So
my mind's skipped. Is it? Am I part of the away teams?
looks
No, it
like
says in the middle.
Edwards is still here. I mean, you can.
You want to be?
Do you want to be?
I
Yeah.
wonder, would you need someone who actually specialises in the communications? Is what I was thinking.
Yep,
Well.
go.
Who do you want to replace? Cruz, Bravo, Natik. I mean, technically, you've got Bravo, so you don't necessarily need Natik, but on the flip side, Natik can still be improved, so the use of him means he'd be able to improve some of his
If it complicates
statistics.
things, I can stay on the ship.
Now, let's... Do you want to leave Bravo here? Because he can collaborate. He can make sure that the ship's security's up to scratch, because there's Jem'Hadar out there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's put some crews over here then for the moment. So, So, yeah, the main reason I mention Bravo Chief of Security is because as a supporting character, he has been upgraded as far as supporting characters can go without a main character using their milestones to do so. So, Natik would make a little more sense from that regard because he himself has not fully been upgraded as a supporting character yet. So, plus it's Natik and he doesn't know his own strength, so you never know if he might need a bulkhead ripping off of something. When he meant to only open the door, you know.
You're only supposed to blow the bloody airlock out.
Not quite. So, let's replace Bravo with Edvardes, so they can work on communications. Groovy. Alright, everybody good. Any revisions to that away team, or are we good with that? I think we're good. That's a pretty good assemblage.
Yeah, fine with that.
Cool. Let's go to the Marva system. Alright, so the situation we found ourselves in the Marva system was that the Navis had gotten as close as it could safely to the array and had managed to use ionic interference, which Lieutenant Ori had created, boosting local ion interference to the point where it interfered with sensors, and therefore made the Jem'Hadar attack ship patrol miss the Navis. So the Navis is now parked right outside the comm array, and as long as you all don't start singing the Russian national anthem, you should remain undetected.
Well, that gets much fun.
Okay. Engineering. While you're bored, I'd like you to invent the caterpillar drive. I don't know what that'll mean for us, but I want you to go and see what you can come up with.
Caterpillar drive sucks in vacuum and expels vacuum.
Sorry, Jimmy.
If it's powered by actual caterpillars, maybe I can work on something.
You do have an entire arboreal laboratory at your disposal, so who knows? Okay, so I'm just going to take us back to the bridge for a moment, because being able to essentially fall out of an airlock and drift ever so quietly over to another, the comm array, will probably be something we're looking at some risk of getting wrong, so that suggests to me a cause for a dice roll. So, this is going to be control over your infiltration. So, control and security, this sounds like to me. And since I mentioned infiltration, I would suggest that your chief infiltrator be the one to lead, and anybody who fancies backing Nova up would be the ones to do so.
Does it have to be controlled, or can it just be jumping and hoping for the best?
Well, you know, this entirely makes for the mental picture of how controlled somebody flings themselves out of said Navis airlock. If it's just if it's just Nova going "Cat!" and just launching herself into the void, then yes, that sounds more like daring to me.
We have a look stat to go with that.
Yes, it's called increasing the difficulty, which is what I think I'm going to do. But if you use control, then it's of course trying to make a more controlled descent to the very point that you want, which in this case is the outer airlock of the comm array.
No,
So,
she's just going for a walk.
what was that, sorry?
She's just going for a walk.
She just puts one leg forward, disengages the maglock from the other one, and just floats.
Yep.
Pirouettes
Probably
gracefully.
spinning there somewhere.
Meanwhile, with everyone else getting their EVA suits on, Cruz just goes, "Oh my god." And she watches Nova just do her thing.
I feel like at this point she'd reach a hand out to Cruz and offer her to join in similar manner. Don't screw calculating it, just come for the ride.
At which point then, in that case, Cruz definitely just goes, "Oh, well," and just leaps out and takes Nova's hand. At this point, the captain's probably would be putting her hand across the bridge of her nose if it didn't have an EVA suit's helmet visor on, but there we go.
Just draw on one of the visor just in case.
Okay, let's get Cruz's stress up. There we go. So, who else is contributing to the successes of this, or are we just letting Nova do it?
I'm happy to support.
Okay. The captain, being a somewhat more poised and controlled individual, doesn't want to engage in this strange kind of ballroom dancing in zero-G that's going on with Cruz and Nova at the moment.
I mean, does somebody want to roll Cruz? Because I guess she's involved now.
Good point. Gareth, do you fancy rolling for Mariana Cruz as well, please?
Mariana Cruz.
One dice. It's going to be, well, she's using daring now, thanks to Nova. Daring and security, but with no focus and only one dice. One success from the captain, though, who is very poised and controlled. Does a textbook zero-G dismount of the Navis. And somehow Cruz and Nova manage to make it work. Everyone else follows the captain. Nevertheless, 4 successes. Excellent. Okay. So, once again. So, from one of the airlocks on the outer hull of the Navis, everyone issues forth in a, well, I would say in a tight line, but we all know that Nova and Cruz are drifting off or doing their own thing, but are still, strangely, somehow still on course. Everyone else, one after the other, just disengages their maglocks on their boots and floats out in a direct line, heading for the outer airlock. Let me grab these guys and post them here, just so you've got access to your tokens. So, you all land on the outer skin of the array and engage your mag boots so that you adhere to it. And there is indeed an external hatch that you can now get into, but of course it is locked, so how do you want to get in? Or who wants to try and get in?
I think this is a Nova again with covert ops to bypass the.
There's also an Ori who has computer expertise, since it's a computer-based lock, and of course, there's also Edwards if you want to go at it from the encoded interface side of things. So you've got a lot of choice.
So where I want to play with the new computer.
Sure. Have your day.
Now, if I recall,
Well, Mama.
is he whispering sweet nothings to the access control pad?
I've just become.
He just goes to Joe. He's like, "How you doing?"
How you doing? The first bonus D20 you purchase is free, so Ori can roll 3 dice for this. And I'm looking for control and science with your focus on computers. Be right back, no problem, Webby. Anybody else who wants to assist can do so.
Oh.
Anybody want to assist, or are we just letting Ori seduce the comm panel?
I don't think we really want to touch it after he's done seducing it.
Well, apparently whispering sweet nothing. Well, you said all the right words. And yes, Nova tries assisting, but insofar as Nova can get the access panel off in order to let Ori get at the inner workings, which allows Ori to fully access the computer system for the lock, and yes, you gain access to it now. 4 successes. With that many successes, what I will say is that gaining access to the door lock is the main thrust of it, but what you do notice is that there is a security subroutine mixed into the access control panel that suggests that there is active sensor scans going on in the interior of the comm array at all times. There appears to be an active security procedure. So that suggests the moment you set foot inside, internal sensors will register your presence. Whether it'll set off an alarm, you don't know. It's not that obvious just from the code you got from the access panel, but nevertheless, it seems these guys are big on security.
Is it just simply just because it registers someone's gained entrance, or is it sort of like biometrics?
You can't tell. You'd have to gain a better look. That would mean potentially poking your head inside, because like I said, it is to do with internal sensors. So what would you like to do?
Yeah. What would you like to do?
So the door is
Just trying to think of a
unlocked.
way
You
to
can get
blind
in
them.
there anytime you want, but thanks to the sheer amount of successes that you did garner, you know that there's an extra security procedure in place on the array. I think I talked over you there, Alex. I apologise for that.
I was just saying, I was wondering if there's some way of blinding it.
Well,
I don't think we've really prepared for that, have we?
I don't think so, because, well, it entirely depends on what equipment you've brought with you.
I'll blind it with science.
Science.
She blinded me with science.
Weird science. Giving a Tegan environment suit, because there's a standard issue. In fact, I'm going to give everyone environment suits. Because you wouldn't have stepped out. One would hope you didn't step out into the void without an environment suit.
Well, maybe.
Well, I was going to say, well, never mind. Just to see, but, yeah.
Challenge accepted. How strong is your body to survive the vacuum of space?
At which point the cyborg is like, amateurs.
Only part of me to survive space.
Yeah, but at least you've got that extra couple of seconds on top over everybody else. Nevertheless, yes. What would you like to do? So, there's extra security procedure inside. Internal sensors are active. So, do you just want to step in and see what happens, or what?
I think what can normally block these kind of sensors? I'm just showing my lack of Star Trek science here. I actually don't know what would be a sort of what could be generated to do that.
Any kind of interference field?
Could we not just do a loop recording?
We need to
You
get
would-
access to it. The problem
yeah.
is it's inside. We're outside.
Yeah. I mean, that could be another thing to do when you're in there, certainly.
Is it just detecting life signs, or is it looking for anything in particular?
Well, that's the problem. Like I said, this is the information you've got from the security lock on the outer airlock. So you're only aware that there is an active internal sensors subroutine mixed in to the security procedure for the airlock, which suggests it might very well be the case across the entire comm array. To know for certain, you would have to get inside, or somehow from somewhere else on the outside gain access to their computer network.
Could we just simulate it as being a fault on the airlock
Okay,
when we get in?
expand on that.
Essentially, is it just make out that on the when we actually do get in, is we just put it in as a bypass, or when we open the door from the outside, we just have it as it being that the lock's failed?
Ooh, I like.
That would still technically gain attention though from whoever, because these guys
It
big
would.
on scary.
It would, but at the same time, it wouldn't trigger anything initially, and it would give us a chance to kind of react.
So it would
To
be
do
the
it right,
difference.
it's like
Sorry.
maintenance request rather than security incident.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say, yeah. So, same kind of lines of thought there. Yes, exactly. So, yes, one would imagine that an engineering problem would be slower to be reacted to than an actual security issue. So, yeah. So, yeah. Try and monkey it so that the door looks like it has... Okay, cool. So, who would be best for that? I mean, you've already got quite a few successes thanks to Ori there, so you've got infiltration to the system. The only reason I think I would look for you to actually give me a dice roll is to see how well you disguise it.
Who
Let's
wants to
say-
do it?
That probably sounds like a Nova thing, so that'd be covert. I'd have thought, but I have the right to be wrong.
Well, this is a group decision, so... If the group are okay with Nova trying to monkey with the internal sensors of at the very least of the airlock to make it look as if it was a malfunction, then
I'm fine to make it covert.
cool. And we are on another... Well, I was going to say control and engineering, but I know Sean better than that. This is going to be the starboard the port nacelle all over again.
This is where Nova just kicks the flipping door mechanism so it unlocks and then blows us all out into space because of the depressurization. Or just get all the Navises, just the away team go whee past the window. Right.
She's no longer pretending that it is what she's going to cause.
All right, if you want to give me a task roll, then I'm going to make this.
Yeah.
I'm going to make this difficulty 2 because you've already had 4 successes from Ori, so you've gained access to the computer system, so you're pretty good. Oh, on the money banks.
Fiber's just making his bum impression into the captain's chair after the bribe he paid Nova.
There's
One
no
day.
bribes needed.
Nova's a hit woman.
There was no bribes needed. I just gave Nova a junior to be easily impressioned and shown off to, and that's it.
So you're saying Ensign Cruz is here because Viber's actually put in the transfer request?
Oh, we know.
No.
Interesting.
But I did approve it.
Yes, good point.
You've just got a mechanical arm with a rubber stamp in it. This you just feed your paper through it. It's like approved. They're not even looking at what you're approving.
We're gonna have to get rid of Edwards. He's figuring out how I'm keeping on top of the paperwork.
It becomes clearer now. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you successfully managed to create the illusion that there is an airlock malfunction, which gives you time. So as soon as you open up the airlock, the cycling system starts up, and yes, the computer system is registering an error. So you have a limited amount of time, but time enough to get in, cycle through the decompression or repressurization sequence, and get inside before a maintenance crew arrives. So, nice. When you do get inside the airlock, it's pretty much as you expect. 2 doors, 2 rather large doors, but as soon as you get out into the interior proper, you do hear the sound of boots coming your way, but there is happily an access panel to what looks like a maintenance tunnel for you to get into as quick as you all possibly can. And so, I think I've got everybody. Let me just check. Yeah. Let's go to the maintenance tunnels. Now, you will have to forgive the simplicity of this place, but I actually did this using a brand new tool called Dungeon Draw, and it just allows me to draw the corridors and the walls and everything.
Draw the dungeon, and it's called Dungeon Draw.
I know. It's great.
It does exactly what it says in the tin.
It does give a rather simplistic look, so it's not the same as when I either draw the maps myself using Dungeon Craft, which is also the name of a YouTube channel, which I recommend everybody watch. But also, one of the hardest things for Star Trek is usually finding an appropriate map, so I thought I would try something different, and this tool actually did a very good job. Simple, but to the point. So, this is inside the access panel, the access corridor, and as you close the panel behind you, you do all freeze for a moment as you see folks going past, legs going past the vent, which suggests that the maintenance crew are here. Interestingly enough, the maintenance crew appear to be Jem'Hadar soldiers. which may very well be a good thing, because you don't imagine that Jem'Hadar soldiers are as adept at being engineers as they are soldiers. So with any luck, this means that your deception will not be easily found by such. And so, you are now in the main vent system. So, but you do have the issue that internal sensors are active inside of the array. You know this. You've made it so that the airlock system is appears to be a malfunction. So you've gained a bit of time, and at the moment the Jem'Hadar maintenance crew are trying to decipher what happened with the airlock. So what would you like to do while you still have time?
I suppose head somewhere where we can monkey with the sensors.
Okay, cool. So, in that regard, let me see. Ori having
Can
a
we
focus on
also-
sensors. Sorry, go on.
So can we also potentially try and bounce the scanners by our tricorders?
Ooh.
So we're effectively creating a sensory null point.
Ooh, I like that. Alright, if you spend 2 momentum, you can create a trait, an advantage for yourselves, which will essentially mask you from internal sensors by creating a blank space. So essentially, yes, using your somebody is going to have to sacrifice their tricorder in order to emit this interference field.
I'm happy to sacrifice mine.
Okay. That does mean that the field is going to be limited, so you won't be able to spread out, as it were. You are going to have to stay pretty close to each other, but yeah, 2 momentum and an advantage to create an interference field. Cool. Interference field. Here we are. That is active and created. Nice. So, like I said, as long as you all stay within this little bubble and the tricorder remains active, you are essentially cloaked from internal sensors. So, Grand Kite Order of Tactics. When a character creates a trait that reflects or represents a strategy, they may automatically add a level of potency. Nice. Good point, good point, good point. In that case, let me app it to Interference Field 2.
Yeah. More room to play with, less risk of somebody getting out of it or
yeah.
something.
Excellent, excellent. Okay then. We change the ambience actually, because that sounds like your main computer talking. But a little less battle music. A little more interest music. Okay, so you are in, and you've created a bubble that allows you to move. You've now, as thanks to Sean using Nova's Grand Kite Order of Tactics, have got a bigger field to work from, so you can spread out a little more. Your own ability to scan using your tricorders is now unfortunately somewhat limited itself, because there's a tricorder causing an interference field with sensors, but I suppose you're just going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and move about and see what you find. There appears to be a junction up ahead of you, so
So we have no way of using our sensors. I was wondering, would we be able to fine tune one of them to basically just pick up sound and just send a very weak blast of the sound gun and basically just use a sonar to map the space.
Ooh, that's interesting.
if you want to wait while we do this.
Edwards is like, sir, I have an idea. Where's Nova going? And Cruz is totally following. That's a good point.
So,
yeah.
yeah, if
Sure.
that'd be an idea for people. Or do you think that type of if the sound would potentially be picked up on scanners, internal sensors?
That's a good point. I mean, at the moment, you...
Which is why it's like we want it like low, so it's just low enough so it'll actually have enough to bounce. But obviously, it's just nothing to trip the sensors. That's why I'm a bit.
Well, what do people think? Does it sound like a good idea?
Absolutely.
The question is, do we need it? We got eyes.
Okay.
Yes, but we don't know what's technically around the corner. And
No.
as players,
but
we
like
can
you
see
say,
this.
like
but
like you're saying as well, though, is that there's a potential that if there is now a constant emission going out, it's something for the sensors to pick up on that's not natural.
it wouldn't be a constant. It would basically be a blast aimed to bounce around and come back.
I'm also
like
not entirely
single
sure.
radar thing.
Yeah. I'm also not entirely sure how good the Jem'Hadar's ears are.
Is there an invisible wall? There is an invisible wall. Ah. Now that is one of the
In that case, then
shortcomings
we'll
of this.
then maybe disregard then and just continue going.
But it might be something to consider for later, maybe.
Getting it ready to go is not a bad plan, and then if you need it, you can just hit it on the way out and get yourself out quick.
Okay, so
Have the
Nova.
sound tune preset for this like lower setting with a tricorder, his own tricorder set for able to pick up that exclusively, but for when it's needed, if it's needed.
Okay, Nova at the moment is getting the general empathic sense of Jem'Hadar soldiers going about their work. Because there are Jem'Hadar soldiers close by, Ori also gets this because Ori's an empath. The Jem'Hadar maintenance guys, all two of them, are broadcasting the emotion of confusion. So it seems that your trick with the airlock is still ongoing. But you do sense other Jem'Hadar in the area, and you also sense the clouded minds of the Vorta. There's at least 2 on board this place. Now then, let's
Is
see.
it possible to try and narrow down mind that's thinking or more focused? Something that seems like it's intent on work.
On a specific work, you mean? Or work in general?
Just the most focused mind, I think.
Oof. Interesting. Yeah, sure, let's give that a go. I'm going to make this difficulty 3, because you're going to try and do it without being detected. If you're putting out psychic feelers, trying to go, you know, how intense are you? No. How intense are you? No. How intense are you? Ooh, hello. What are you thinking about? So, or I could potentially assist with this since he's an empath as well, but as a Betazoid, Nova has a lot more experience with it, and of course has empathy projection as a focus. So, it's up to Mike.
Let Nova handle it.
Let Nova handle it. Right, you are. Okay, so the usual insight and command from Nova, please, with focus, of course. Yeah, difficulty 2.
Ready?
See what we get.
Oops.
Well, keeping us in suspense. That's one down. Let's see if you get a second success. I cannot read that, but that looks like a 20! 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi.
Go say hello to the most focus mine. General Green.
Okie dokie.
And
All right.
as we agreed at last on the canon meeting last week, is that no one else can interact with the complication.
Yep.
Very small.
Unless Ori wants to spend his determination, because he's kind of pinging out as Nova just goes, "Hello."
Be
Yes.
very, very quiet.
I'm talking to you psychically.
I mean, he will. Is it going to be helpful?
I mean,
the ghost of Christmas past.
you said Ori was letting Nova handle this, so Nova handles this by doing an empathic, not a broadcast, but like a very active sensor sweep of all the emotional minds. Sorry, Mike, what was that? Nope. Okay. So, yes, Nova's possibly a bit louder with it than she intended.
She's basically playing Duck Duck Goose with empathy and just like, nope, nope, nope.
Yes.
You.
So there are.
Oh wait, you're a water. Oh.
Yes. So there are a lot of very focused, task-focused minds. Oof, that was almost difficult to get out. On this station, which makes sense. Jem'Hadar and Vorta, all creatures that are very driven by their foci. And there are a couple that do shine out more than others, specifically a pair of Jem'Hadar firsts. One of them is in one section of the array, another one is in another section of the array. They're both at separate ends of the array, and both are very, very focused on what they are doing. The impression you get is that one of them is very focused on the task of overseeing everything, which suggests security, whilst the other Jem'Hadar first is very much focused on the maintenance and guarding of a specific section of the array. So if the other Jem'Hadar first suggests that he's in charge of the whole security for the entire array, this second Jem'Hadar first, which is getting really confusing as far as terminology goes now, the other Jem'Hadar first seems very much focused only on his room. So what you make of that is up to you. But at the same time, you are very much aware that both Jem'Hadar firsts realise that their emotions and minds are being read. And there is suddenly a state of not alert, because Jem'Hadar soldiers are very disciplined, but they're now aware that somebody is on the comm array. And so even Ori at this point, with his not insignificant but not betazoid level of empathy, is now reading an increase in the overall alertness of the Jem'Hadar on the station. And then, not long after both the empaths are realise that you've been made, not your exact location, but the presence of intruders on the array has been noticed, and you're starting to, especially because Natik and Ori and Andrews are not far from the entrance to the maintenance tunnels, so you start hearing more shouted orders, and it seems that Jem'Hadar are starting to mobilise. Now then, meanwhile, back on the Navis.
So I heard that one of the other old admirals used to like sitting on the bridge for a cup of tea.
So now we will begin part 2 of this Moss lecture.
So if I just quickly move the away team off to one side, Yes, the backup bridge crew are pretty much, not pretty much, are silent running pretty much. I keep using pretty much. Silent running, what it suggests. You're all the members of the crew are trying to make as little active noise as possible. I mean, you can't turn everything off, but you can at least lower the power output of the ship to the point where you can disguise it easily with the cloaking device and other sensor foiling technologies. But, you know, the Jem'Hadar are pretty good at sniffing out cloaked ships, so the less reason you give them to find you, the better, which means everybody in the crew that's still on the ship are tiptoeing around and trying to make as little active noise as they possibly can, in case even a minor cavitation through the ship's hull gets detected. It's with that in mind that a muted alert goes off on Ensign Eric's tactical station. At which point he as quietly as he can, leans forward and goes, "Commander, sensors are reading a warp-capable vessel coming into the system." At which point,
Okay.
Claude actually speaks up. If I can find him. Where's Claude's voice?
Silent running does not mean you have to whisper, Ensign.
At which point Ensign Eric goes, "Oh, right. Sorry."
Just because Claude's voice reverberates through the fabric of the universe, you know.
Yeah.
Claude cannot whisper.
All the Jem'Hadar on the thing goes, "Did anyone hear that?"
Claude is here.
Keep the passive sensors and let me know what you can find out.
Right you are, sir. Passive sensors indicates a larger, maybe a cruiser? Our output suggests a larger ship, sir.
Okay.
Could try
Right,
getting it on visual.
Get your weapon teams ready with torpedoes. Make sure they're loaded and ready to go. We're not going to have time to power up phaser banks and stay stealthy if we need to.
Aye, sir.
At which point the Jem'Hadar are like, "Yeah, I heard it again then. What was that?"
Like a dog whistle.
So,
Doctor,
Is it the
we've
dreaded
got-
anti-founder?
Doctor, we've got a potential company in system. You might want to get your guys ready for potential combat. We'll keep you updated as much as we can.
at which
That's
point,
great.
go on, sorry.
That's pretty much what I'm doing for the bridge crew. Keep silent as long as we can, because this is a cat and mouse game of see if anyone's make sure we're not gonna slide into view and try and make as little noise as possible.
Right you are. Lieutenant Monod, who is currently occupying the sensor station, pipes up at this point. Sir, I think we can get visual sensors online. I'll try and increase magnification as best I can.
Passives only.
Aye, sir. So what Mono is doing is essentially pointing the cameras on the external hull
Yep.
in the direction of this ship, and he manages to... You see a glint against the stars, and as he starts to increase magnification, the ship becomes more and more clear. Uh-oh, says Mono.
This need a bit more information than that.
Nothing good start with uh-oh.
It's the ship auto. It's just identifying it.
It's fine. We've taken on a Borg cube. It's only a Jem'Hadar battle cruiser. Oh no!
This
So
time we
they're
have
fine to take on a flipping battle cruiser. You know, the flipping Navis should have no problem.
Taking
Oh no, wait,
on
we don't have
isn't
plot
the
armor.
problem.
have
Staying
an-
hidden while taking it out / not being attacked.
Mr. Claw,
Anyway.
incidentally, get the Samson.
Well,
We have
Is
to
it-
handle this, but it does involve me getting a It does involve Vipers getting a promotion.
It's going to be fine. We don't have that admiral who orders us to stop firing on them because they want to take a look around.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he's not going further, is he more? He lets
Admiral-
play.
Admiral Hayes was not the brightest, was he?
Well, I think the brief moment he was lit up by the Borg plasma weaponry, he was quite bright.
Ooh,
Ouch!
I mean, deserved, but
Ironically-
oof.
Ironically, that joke about being lit up was quite dark humour.
Oh man, oh man.
Dr. Bertram, I have someone here who needs therapy. I think
So-
it might be you.
Sorry, I'm too busy dealing with these burn injuries that Admiral Hayes has just got.
Oh,
Why are you treating a corpse?
Because the burn injuries are just that bad. They're scorching his soul.
The question is, why do you have his corpse in the cupboard?
Well, yeah, I mean, you
don't
did
ask those
tow.
questions.
If
I
I-
don't judge your hobbies, Edwards. Don't judge mine.
Admirals you have
Bertram
in there.
collects dead admirals in his closet.
It's just a freezer full of dead admirals.
Hey, that's unfair. Not all of them are passed yet.
Jeez. Wow. Okay. I think we no longer need the Dominion as an adversary.
No, we don't seem to.
It
Get
was
them, my
Bertram
mossy
all
army.
along.
Yep. And you were making jokes about my Mossman army. They called me mad on the colony.
Those of you that were coming here for Mossman DNA injections, I'm terribly sorry, but that's been cancelled. However, grab a rifle, you're going Mossman hunting.
Someone's quoting Cave Johnson.
Am I?
Yes.
Never heard of that man. He's not in this universe.
And that would be our first cross-franchise quote of the evening.
Or is he?
Actually, not
And
strictly
he
true.
starts
we have
ranting
been
about
talking-
lemons.
Funny enough, we were talking about that recently. Anyway, J.K. Simmons, what a legend. Okay, so, yes, Vipers. It seems as if there is a Jem'Hadar battlecruiser making its way into the system. It seems, to all intents and purposes, that this thing hasn't detected the Navis. You don't think? So, it looks
Okay.
like it's here for the array. That's a good point,
In
actually.
which case, I think our best option is be very, very quiet. We're hunting Jem'Hadar.
I can't spell battlecruiser. There we go. Oh, go away. As a quick one, how many? You guys who play Star Trek Online, do you remember how many troops can actually be stationed inside of a Jem'Hadar battlecruiser?
2.
Or
Well, it's 2,500 feet long, so I doubt it.
I'm
Alright,
gonna
one.
say too many.
That's why it's
to be
surprising.
Too many to be a easy problem.
I mean, if the shields aren't, you could just teleport them a quantum torpedo.
Oh, there we go. Accommodation 2,500 plus flight crew and troops. Zoinks.
You joke about that, but that might not be far off what I'm planning.
The Mariana Cruiser. Well,
Coming up with new names already.
What happens when Navis gets power?
well.
What torpedoes? What's the torpedoes?
All right. So, you're just going to sit here and stay quiet for the time being? Yes.
We're gonna
It's
be
the last
very,
thing
very
they'd expect.
quiet, and we're prepping quantum torpedoes for manual launch.
Ooh.
Mr. Claus.
Torpedoes,
The
that's
idea
it, rapid.
is we're going 5 rounds of torpedoes. Blow. I'm on target hit.
Just basically push them out so they're almost mines. It's not a mine because it was a torpedo.
It's moving slowly, but it has no propulsion behind it.
Listening lazily to the left.
I've now got a mental image of this poor security officer in an EVA suit pushing the thing and wagging his legs behind him as if he's swimming.
He's just floating a football helmet.
So the plan that seems to be working there is we blow up the battle cruiser and blame all the deaths on an airlock malfunction.
That's exactly what happened.
You're not supposed to tell them the plan.
I'm not telling them the plan. I'm laughing at the plan with my friends.
Okay. So, back on the comm array, in the maintenance tunnels, you guys know that the Jem'Hadar are alerted to the probability of intruders. So, you've only got a small amount of time to actually decide to do anything with. Nova got the impression of 2 Jem'Hadar firsts. Is there any particular one that you would like to head towards, I suppose?
They both sounded boring to Nova.
Helping.
I didn't describe them, just described them as boring.
Okay, so yes, what did you learn?
There's one
Yell
very
louder.
boring person over that way. He seems to be security. One very boring person over that way seems to be in charge of room.
There you go then.
Okay.
Cruz is,
Right.
Ensign Cruz is just there going, huh, specifics. Like it.
Well, I believe that I've already role-played what her response to this is.
Okay. Anyway, the captain was going to talk. Sorry, I talked over you there, Webby.
It's alright, no worries. Yeah, so if that's basically what Nova's saying, is that it's unusual. Do we know that it's unusual for the Jem'Hadar to... well, that's a specific task. We know that the Jem'Hadar are task-oriented, so would we know that information, that it's unusual for them to be guarding one specific room?
It's a good question, isn't it? At the moment, Starfleet has as much information as you remember that they're being in Deep Space Nine. So this is the... How many months are we now into the conflict? We are... Right, the Dominion War started there. That was 2 days after the attack on DS9. So 3 weeks, 2 days, 5 weeks, 2 days. We are 6 weeks, 4 days since the beginning of the the official start of the Dominion War. So
we know nothing.
I'll go ask him if I.
Let's not.
I could go ask the other guy.
Do you know what? Yeah, go. Just go on your own. Just completely leave your comm badge, leave your tricorder, leave your phaser. If you want to go, go. You know.
Wait,
Yes,
I'm sorry,
Captain.
when
You
did we-
actually given up.
when did we start playing in Paranoia? That sounds like a very paranoia for the team leader to order. Put down all of your equipment and then get those Jem'Hadar communists.
right, so Nova's
Yeah,
off.
Let's not.
And her sides kicking.
We are-
right.
yes. We are moving as a group, and we are going to one location as a group.
Cruz leans into Nova and just goes, "We could take him. We could totally take him."
Yep.
I mean, the captain will thank us later, right?
Just one on their own. How bad could it be?
Exactly.
Is that loud enough for us to hear?
Well,
Nova's not exactly being stealthy, but she no longer has a combat job.
well, you got. I would hope that you've still got your EVA suits on, even if you have got the helmet disengaged.
Andrews will be signaling for Andrews will be signaling for Natik to take up the rear position, and Andrews will move forwards to.
Okay.
Yeah, and there will be a polite suggestion that Nova and her wannabe friend follow orders.
Yes, that's why her combat and track order and phaser are on the floor.
Davis, you can take control of Natik for now, please.
Yep, we'll do.
And Mike Orai is also at the back, being left behind, so maybe catch up with the rest. Was getting separated. So, what's the plan, folks? If plan is maybe too strong a word, what's the intention, folks?
Yes.
Plan will be to head to the location of the individual then.
Alright.
Yes. We want to try and learn as much as we can without getting into the main security area, because there's going to be a lot of Jem'Hadar in there.
Okay. To Nova's best ability to ping the Jem'Hadar, it's this particular branch of the maintenance tunnels you want to go to if you want to find the guy in charge of just our room, our place.
I just had an idea. I was thinking if we can get to the main actual comm relays, if we literally turn off all external sounds, I could potentially load the sound gun program into the system and have it set to Jem'Hadar if we need to get our way out of here.
It's a thought.
Just leave it with a backdoor to delete itself, and then just give ourselves a slight advantage, though we won't be able to hear ourselves, technically. Or at least any outside sound, with the risk of overloading our own eardrums.
We could just take over environmental control and shut down the environmental controls.
Yeah, but that's going to kill them. Mine was thinking more just knock them down.
We are at war, Lieutenant. But we have two options from that.
Yes, so security fellow, you think, is this way. Whereas the guy, the Jem'Hadar first, in charge of a single room, would be this way. If those pings did indeed appear for you. So, Captain, your stealth team has rounded the corner and has disappeared from view. But, at least with the EVA suits, you've still got a close-range tracker of sorts. Nova and Cruz moving on. There is the occasional sound of Jem'Hadar boots clunking past down the hallways just outside of the maintenance tunnels that you're in, which does cause you to freeze in place so that they don't hear you as they go running past. Now it seems they've grouped up in teams of 4 to start looking through the place, so you're not sure how long you've got until they start actively looking in the maintenance tunnels. So. But they are out there looking. So, Andrews, your stealth team has turned a corner. Your rear guard are very much keeping up the rear guard. Ooh. And we suffered a load of dropped frames for a bit, so hopefully that didn't cause too much disruption to those who were watching. Apologies for that. Maybe that was when Alana Baby joined. Okay. So, yes, Nova and Cruz can see the end of this tunnel ends in a ventilation cover that will allow you to go out into wherever this leads to. You should see that there is a stairs icon.
Yep.
So if you have your token selected and you click on the stairs icon, it should magically transport you to the room that you're going to end up in. So,
I mean, can we see him from here? Does somebody want to take a pot shot?
Sure. It's difficult to see because it's just slits venting. But from the... That's a good point, actually. From the hum and the ambient sound you can hear, it sounds as if there's a lot of computers in this room. And you can also hear the sound of people talking. Very clipped, very short sentences. So it does appear that this room has some occupants, but the distance, the level of volume you can hear suggests these voices, wherever they are not immediately outside of this vent cover. So the area just outside the vent seems to be clear of anybody who could see you coming out. But there are people somewhere nearby.
Alright. Doesn't sound like shooty from here.
Pop. Which takes us to the comm array server room. So yes, you exit the maintenance tunnels in this area at the corner of, well, a curve in the corridor. So, those of you who are lagging behind somewhat, all you need to do to be taken to the same map that everybody else has gone to is to get your tokens selected.
Drag the teak over because I've been pulled to this map.
Okay.
Okay.
Where?
Oh, it's activated it. Okay, I'll drag the others, it's fine. Oink. Everyone emerges carefully and slowly. Now, from what you can tell, you're on some kind of overlook, you might say. And the main sound of computer servers is coming from a larger room to your northwest. That's also where the voices are coming from. This area where you're at more than likely feeds back into the rest of the comm array's corridors. So how long you've got before a patrol comes your way, you don't know, but you already know that somebody's here already. Ori and Nova can definitely report the presence of 6 mines in the area.
Can
5
we
are
pick
Jem'Hadar.
bits of conversation from here, or
Yep, it's pretty much what you expect from clipped military conversation. You can hear 4 voices predominantly. All were always sounding, section clear. And they sound off every now and again as if somebody from over their comms or from a nearby control room is asking them for a sit rep. That's all it seems to be at the moment. So, what would you like to do?
Do we know that this room to the southwest is what it is, or do we?
Well, you'd have to take a peek and look, but they've got
yeah.
they've got glass walls. So if you just maybe got to here and then had a look, you'd see computer control terminals. Whether they have anything to do with the main. Sorry, I talked over you there.
Yes, alright. I think it would probably be worthwhile actually getting an understanding of where we are on the station first before we infiltrate into that area. But that area seems a particular high guard. Unless if this corridor to the south is the main corridor, like in this subsection.
Yeah, that'll lead back to the main the main concourse of the Commoray. Yes.
Yeah.
Edwards has disappeared.
It's probably under me or one of the others.
I moved him to the end bit here.
To
here.
Touch the button again.
Oh, there
There you go. He disappeared back into the tunnels. He was like, nope.
Brave Lieutenant Edwards ran away.
Right, so Ori, from his standpoint, just tiptoeing and getting his head up over the lip. He can see through this window and see that beyond this overlook does appear to be a very wide open space with a number of computer servers running. Seems you found, well, from the look of it, you found a major computer server hub.
Yeah. Let's get it.
But you can also see Jem'Hadar soldiers on guard.
Nova will take care of it.
Yes, indeed, yes, indeed. So, what's the plan, folks?
So this area is elevated above the other area.
Yes, because there's stairs leading down into
The barriers, are they metal?
They are, yeah, but not reinforced iron or anything like that. They're just
No. Basically, would it give us cover?
Yeah. Handrail height, but yes, they could give you cover, definitely.
Are there big holes and can they see through them?
No, this place is obviously Cardassian made and therefore is extremely utilitarian.
Solid wall, but
Mm-hmm.
balconies rather than nice delicate metal ones.
Yes. So
Right,
it has
well, if
that
we can
whole.
see-
Sorry, go
yeah.
on.
Sorry, if we can see that this is a server room, then yeah, I think infiltration, and if we can, eliminate via stealth. Because as soon as, if we enter into an area, we're going to trigger, if they realise that we're here, an alarm's going to be triggered. So we need to try and eliminate quietly. Or set up to eliminate them quickly.
Mm-hmm. So what's the thought? I mean, you've got quite a few combat-capable folks here.
Or do we want to try the hello method?
Hello there.
No, not the Obi-Wan Kenobi method.
So, yeah, help.
Hello, is it me you're looking for?
Well, you know, formulate a plan. What would you like to do? Just start rolling on infiltration tests to see if you can sneak up on them and see where that gets you. And if you're going with the infiltration, trying to take them out as stealth, then how many of you are going for a single Jem'Hadar warrior at a time?
Sorry,
Is
is there any kind of
question?
Is there any kind of conduits or panels or something? It'd be good if we could just short out the lights. Give us an idea, because do these suits have any kind of inbuilt kind of thermals or anything, or is it just straightforward? Just
They won't have thermals, they'll have lights.
Which you would
Okay,
hope
so
you could turn off. So, yeah.
Oh, no, I was just thinking more of
No,
a way of seeing them, but they
basically
couldn't see
yeah.
us. That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
so
but-
the light go, the lights in the room go off. We turn the flashlights on, blind them, and get the shots off before they get a chance to react.
Wasn't thinking that, but that's a good idea.
Or
but-
just gets thermal. I don't know whether Andrews has thermal vision or not.
Well,
Probably not. It's only on sort of like on standard
The risk
range.
of that is if somebody's looking for it and we cause another error in the system.
Mhm.
Draws attention.
Yeah.
Well, you do have a handy-dandy computer room right by here. And if you want to try and short out the power, then you just need to find an access panel and have a go at rewiring the power conduits. So you have numerous ways of getting at what you want to do. You just have to decide on a course of action. Ensign Cruz, needless to say, is very much up for sneaking and smacking.
We can. I'm just trying to think if we can get them all if the sound gun's set for Jem'Hadar and Edwards can get into position to hit 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely have to visit. We actually don't know what the sound would be for the Vorts, to be honest.
Well, the Vort is a separate target.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a good point to make. You haven't yet gained the ability to set to Vorta.
Aren't they psionic?
They kind of were, weren't they?
Yeah, it's mildly psionic.
Yeah, there was one that had at least a telekinetic blast, but they never displayed any telepathic abilities, or indeed that telekinetic burst ever again. So you never know, that might have been just a play.
It is explained is that the founders did erase majority. The Vorta were originally psionic, and the founders bred it out of them, but there were some rare cases.
I must have missed that.
I think it's Star Trek Online where they go into that about the Vorta a bit more.
Oh, right, okay. Well, okay. Another reason to get back into it, then.
Let's
All right.
hack into
Let's hack into...
the mainframe.
Well, yes, I mean, that is a good point, actually.
This could be it, is that if Ori and potentially Cruz do hack the system, that gives the rest of us the chance to get into position to strike for the so it would be a two-prong, but like Nova said, there's a potential risk that it may they've now got 2 errors on the system. 1 error is a fluke, 2 is potentially a coincidence.
They're already suspicious of the first one.
Yeah, they're already on alert. But then weapons discharge will also trigger the internal sensors.
Ooh, wait, we've made ourselves as a null point for sensors, haven't we?
Yes, you have. That's a good point. Let me bring
How
it in.
could we expand that over the room so they wouldn't actually pick up the weapons fire?
Probably a couple more tricorders.
Indeed.
Because we've already got it, so it makes sense just to expand it. Oh, actually, could we use the consoles we have here? What if we use their own internal sensors to do it?
And just put the sensors on a loop.
Ah.
So we don't even have to use our own, just use theirs. But we've got the settings for it, how to do it.
Sounds like an idea.
Put this room on a loop, and then it gives us the element of surprise because the sensors won't pick up in this room that that things have gone off.
Which will give
So
you
who's
time.
going to be Sandra Bullock and who's going to be Keanu Reeves?
Nova.
Both accounts.
Nova's going to be Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves. Right, okay. Makes sense. Right, so who's going to do the hacking? Who's going to go into the computer room and monkey with the sensor loop? And create a sensor loop? Sounds like Edwards was up for it, so...
Yeah, we'll be in his own position, so yeah, he'll give it a go.
You are our comms expert.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Now, this is a secure Dominion-held system. And you've not had to break into something like this before. So
True, but he did prior get into even their comms, even if we weren't able to decrypt it. He's actually got some experience of breaking in because that's what we have. That's how we.
Yes, breaking into comms, which will give you a shoe-in for definite, but then
it's more
getting into their active security system. Yeah, so it's not. Yeah, he's not brand new at this, and we've established that Edwards has had experience with doing this kind of sabotage before, so it's nothing. I'm not suggesting he doesn't know what he's doing. I'm just saying that this is the first time he's going to be trying to break into a Dominion system. So if it was a Cardassian system, Edwards might have a bit more confidence about it, but now that the Cardassians have had all of their stuff upgraded to Dominion level tech, who's to say for sure what kind of inbuilt security systems they've got. So I am going to make this a difficulty. I'm going to make this difficulty 3 with the complication range up to 2.
Okay. Can I nab 3 momentum for 2 dice?
I don't have a problem with
Why
that.
not?
Righty.
So was it control plus science? Or
Yeah.
plus engineering? Or security actually probably makes more sense.
It's a little bit of all, really, but security does make more sense, yes.
So, using focus. So it's 4 dice. Complication range is... I need to change it to a 2, don't I?
Yes, please. Any things you can add? Never mind, he's got... Oh, hello, I see a 1. Oh, oh, oh!
6.
What did I say? It was 3 with 2.
3.
So, yeah, 1,
We've got
2,
3 back.
3 back. All right. So yes, gaining active, breaking
And I
into
start
their
recording
system.
this as well with my tricorder. Just like, let's just get as much info on how I just did that.
Yes, exactly. So good idea. So recording his own efforts to do it. Edwards does, yes, break into their internal sensors and puts it on a loop. Success. Nicely done.
We must protect this tricorder really, really badly now.
Yes, indeed. This has now got very valuable information on it. Speaking of valuable information, who knows what's on these computer servers? So now would be the time to have a good old go.
Hey, grab what I can.
Well, you're
Unless
out
the
there,
fitness-
and the servers are in there, so...
Yes.
First you've got Jem'Hadar to deal with. So now you've put the internal sensors, at least in this area, on a loop. So any weapons fire that goes on should... And with that many successes, I will say that you've also disabled outgoing comms so that they can't call for help.
Are we leaving the Teak as a rearguard, or are we bringing them up for extra firepower?
We're bringing him up for the firepower.
Oh,
we need to go in fast. We go in fast, we go in hard, we go in heavy. Well, we need to get in positions where we can strike from.
Alright, so setting yourselves up already like.
So I'd like to see if we can actually try and get into the room more so that we're covered and flanking. But at the same time, we lose our height advantage. Are these guys, are the Jem'Hadar and the Vorta, are they in like a separate room? And the
It
doors
looks
are
like,
inside?
yes, they're in a different control room, it looks like. There are doors on... Doors? I'm getting an accent. Doors on either side. But those are the only ways in, it seems. And the only ways out.
The wheels.
The Jem'Hadar outside are using consoles, are they?
The Jem'Hadar outside are just standing still with their plasma rifles slung in ready position across their chests. They are standing guard. They're not doing anything with the computers. The Vorta and the First inside of that room, though, do appear to be sitting down at consoles.
With, I assume, windows
Yes.
so they can see out.
Is there any maintenance access tunneling that looks like it could lead into that area? Like for wiring or anything?
Wiring, that would be a problem because the size of this communications array isn't huge, which is to your advantage because that means the number of active troops that are present is probably limited and small. So wiring would be, unless you were able to turn yourself into a mouse or a rat or a cat, that kind of size would be what would be needed to get in there, unfortunately. The maintenance ductwork that you used to get here was of a size that you could use. Anything else, I'm afraid, is too small. You're going to have to proceed from this area.
Grease me up, woman.
Oh dear. So, yes, you are ready. You've got your targets, you can see what's going on. Hopefully you've had everything you needed explaining to you as to what's in the room. If I have failed to divulge something, then speak now.
Forever hold your peace.
Right, who's the best shot?
Alright.
Security. Yeah. Nova is control 4.
Who's also got nothing to shoot with.
Yeah, that was Webby saying that, not Andrews.
Edwards could pass her his Type 1 phaser as he's got the sound gun.
Gets dismantled immediately.
Never.
So Nova is going in with fists and feet alone, it seems. The rest of y'all, though, yeah, so Nova close up. Daring and security is 11-4 if you're going that way, but Andrews...
Natik is control. Natik is 10-4 on control. So I think, yeah, Natik with his Type 3 on leading one team, because Nova wants to go solo. So Natik, Andrews, Ori, Nova, and then Andrews, Cruz, and Edwards. So one team takes the left, one team takes the right. Eliminate the Jem'Hadar soldiers, and then take both sides for the First and the Vorta. If we go quick enough, they won't be able. Well, we've blocked the communications out of the room. The sensors are on a loop, so it should give us time to get in and stop them from doing anything further and trying to delete any data or anything that's coming through.
Nice. Everyone good with the plan?
Yeah.
Yep.
Then let's do this. So, I will throw this into combat, but because you guys have got the drop on them, you guys definitely start. And quick to action during first round of combat, you and your allies ignore the normal cost of keep the initiative. So, the first two of you, in fact, all of you, get to do a full round of actions before the Jem'Hadar get to respond. So, which of you wants to go first? Is Nova racing out to close distance quickly, or is somebody getting to cover and opening fire?
I think getting to cover opening fire to allow Nova to then run at them
Alrighty.
would probably be wiser.
I think there's there's a double door here right in front of you, so and there's cover behind each of these bits, and cover behind
So
the actual stacks, server stacks too.
Yeah.
So
I would say that Andrews and Natik are aiming for the back two of the warriors.
the back two.
Yeah.
Right. So who's going first then, Andrews or Natik?
Nova wants to charge, so I'd probably say Natik would lead, but then it's a fight, so I don't mind. Whatever anyone else really thinks.
It's on you to order the breach. So
Right, fine.
you're the captain.
Although it has ordered them as Natik in initiative first, so it's up to you who you want to go by. But Andrews has moved, so that's cool. So Andrews is activated. So you've got minor action and major action. Minor action was to move, and that's easy enough to utilize that position there. Major action is to open fire! From this distance, he's got no cover, so it's going to be a difficulty 2 to hit.
Do I spend determination straight away? Tempting. Just to make sure that we guarantee. We'll see what happens.
See what happens. Okay, cool. So this is using the Type 3, isn't it?
Type 3, yeah. That guy. This guy.
Beg your
This
pardon.
one.
Do beg your pardon.
I
was testing it really to see if it works, but that one up there, cool. Badoom. 3 successes, which means you got 1 added to momentum, and the Type 3 has got accurate, but you didn't use the chance to aim, so that doesn't matter. Charge, you didn't use the time to charge, so it's just going with what it's got. So you added 1 to momentum, it needs 2 to up the damage, but it still does 5 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Baboosh.
You shot the wrong guy again.
Oh, I did, didn't I? I'm sorry. I really am not with it.
Red.
I'm fixated on this guy for some reason. I'm going to call him Jeff.
Jeff's 1 day away from retirement.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeff's Nova's target, so he's good.
Okay.
Nova's going left.
He's not. I said I'll go for this guy. He's had eye contact with him for a while.
Man, it's falling apart already. Nice. Kaboosh. Okay, Jem'Hadar warrior takes stress from the attack. Alrighty, but you added 1 to momentum, so that's cool. Are you alright with leaving?
Initiative?
Well, you don't need to spend to keep the initiative, which means somebody else can go next, which means Natik can go next if you want.
Yeah, I'd say Natik.
Natik's taking up position.
Natik, go left! Left, Natik!
There's a target in the top right, and the quicker we can kill one, the less likely he can shoot back.
That's not
Ensign Cruz is like, man, you guys really do follow the captain, don't you?
We all know,
Follow their example, not their orders.
Yeah, there's going to be reprimands coming out of this now. Is
No,
that you're
on Cruz's turn, she's just going to actually do whatever Nova did, but try and do it slightly better and probably mess it up.
That well, I'm glad to see that Gareth's got the feel of the character I made right off the bat. Thank you. 2 successes, which is a successful hit, which means no added whatever. It's Xavier Woods' his big elbow off the top. Nice. Those guys deserve more accolades than they get.
Yeah.
You really do. Anyway. Now, -5 takes that down. If you want to, the guy's got 2 stress left. That would be that'd be 4 extra momentum to take that out. So that would be a bad choice. So 2 shots land. Jem'Hadar warrior is almost out of stress from 2 shots. 2 big shots.
Okay, on to Nova.
If you want Nova to go next, then Nova can go next.
Or whoever's next.
Well, I've just tagged Nova, so Nova can go next. You are currently in 1 zone. This whole area counts as a 2nd zone, so you can do that transition from 1 zone to the next easily enough with 1 minor action. And the major action can, of course, be to attack. They are currently unaware of you because you are attacking them when they are surprised. Therefore, a hand-to-hand combat has difficulty of 1, and which is daring and security. And the focus of acrobatic brawling. And the Cochrane Medal of Excellence.
That's the name I thought, but that's the People's Champion.
Yes, I had a feeling that was what you meant by that. Choose a single focus. Once per mission, you spend a point of determination. You gain the benefits of 2. Geez, okay. Which means that Nova's spending determination for this?
Yes.
You know what? Rather than spend that determination, which you've already done, never mind, I will happily say that Nova is being enough of a pain in the ass at the moment, with completely ignoring Andrews' his orders, and that you do get the determination point back for making things really difficult.
So much a pain about. I was going to say Nova is being so much a pain in the ass that Andrew says sod it and just wide blast the whole thing.
I mean, it's a possibility.
Well, that's next turn, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so yes, daring and security, difficulty 1.
I don't know how to add the extra determination.
So roll 1 dice less and tag determination, and there we go.
Yeah, but I get 2 of them, so does that take 2 less, or does that add an extra?
It basically doubles the amount of successes you got out of that, so it makes it 4 successes, which means you got 3 over and above what you needed. Your unarmed strikes. Ooh. Really? Oh, I'm looking at a Jem'Hadar, you twonk.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, when did Nova's unarmed strikes get the intense trait? Dang!
Nova hits the Jem'Hadar so hard that he thinks he's Nova.
Using the bludgeon. Right, cool. Gets the ball bat out. That has no traits. That's just a ball bat, but it does more damage, therefore does 3. You can spend 2 momentum to add an extra point of damage to make it 4.
Yeah, 1.
Leaving the extra 1 momentum left over to go into the momentum pool, giving you guys a full momentum stack again. So, Nova winds up with the steel ball bat and clonks the Jem'Hadar warrior. Or at the very least, he has to spend stress in order to not get taken out by it. So that's Nova. Who wants to go next? Cruz, Ori, Edwards? Any of you guys want to give it a try?
I'd say Cruz wants to actually try and do that, but to this one.
Alright then, Cruz's turn.
Okay. Charge!
Now, Cruz has got unarmed combat training.
Yeah.
But she's going to try and do it the same way Nova does it.
No, I think Cruz would actually try and do it unarmed because of her training, and so she could go, I didn't even need a bat.
Right, okay, fine. Because I was going to
more than jumping up under the railing and jumping down.
She's literally gonna try and come down with a double axe handle.
Springboard double axe handle. Right, okay, go for it. Again, unaware of your presence, therefore is only a difficulty 1 attack.
Okay, daring and
Security, yes.
Can I use a momentum to try and get an extra die? See if I can get that extra complication. I mean, critical success.
Up to folks, if folks are okay with that.
Yep.
In the mission, we're going to need another Timmy.
Alrighty, so 3 dice for Ensign Cruz. 1. She got it on the money. On the money. So an unarmed combat does 2. If you want to spend momentum, it's 2 to add an extra point of damage.
See, strategically, I should say yes, but there's a part of me that thinks it's more in favor of Cruz for her to come up, punch the guy in the face, and then for to do almost nothing. Just so I don't think Andrews is having a bad enough day.
Alright, Ori or Edwards next? Edwards.
Yeah, okay.
Edwards, you're up.
I'm keeping to orders and going for the right.
Okay. So, like I said, there's the... I suppose you can call it a balustrade here, or the edge here that you can use for cover.
Mm-hmm. Control plus security?
Which one were you going for?
Tagged the one that Nova's fighting.
Not the one that's almost down?
Alright, actually. It might be... Actually, it's probably a closer distance if I want to try and...
How
much is...
It's like you were sound gun.
Yeah. Actually, the point, what is the range of the sound gun?
Does that mean you can hit multiple?
I mean, that's what I was thinking, though. It's distance from one to the other, so the back one makes more sense, but it's closer to the first, rather than the distance between...
Yeah, you burst the room, so you have to spend momentum to get additional targets.
I thought that was on 2nd edition. I thought 1st edition it depends
We haven't
on how many
completely
successes.
moved back to 1st edition yet.
Okay. Okay, and yeah, I'll
That's in
drop a
process.
momentum to catch both the ones on the right.
So that momentum is for...
The additional target, or do I have to hit? No, I have to hit first.
You have to try and hit first, so maybe let's not
Put that
jump the sound gun here.
Okay, but yeah, control plus security.
Yes, please. The difficulty is 2. I'm seeing 2. Okay, so that was a success. Now you are able to hit more than 1, and the sound gun has damage of what? 3. So you're attacking both guys on the right.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy definitely drops. Defeated, not dead. Yes, the sound gun goes off. One guy clutches his ears, the other guy drops unconscious. Which means it's Ori's turn.
Woohoo! Alright, let me just end this. I'm not doing combat, am I?
You are indeed doing a combat.
Oh, man.
So, you have choices. If you're sticking to the captain's orders, then she very much wants you to attack the Jem'Hadar on the left.
Well, I would hope no. Well, one's out, so yeah, or I can do whatever he wants.
Given up.
It's given up.
So the one on the left.
It's more the fact that the players didn't do what they said. The crew would have followed the captain's order, but
I did.
yes, you did.
I would be glad to follow the captain's orders.
In which case, target on the left.
Okay, let's do it.
Have you put Ori at the bottom of the stairs for a reason, Mike?
No.
No. Did he slip? Because it's best to keep behind cover.
I didn't have a reason, I just did it.
Just, you know what? Ori vaults over. Now let's keep him behind cover for his own safety. This is going to be control and security difficulty 2.
Okay, sounds great. And I'm going to use quantum physics as a focus.
I'm gonna go with no, you're not. But nice try. That wasn't bad, actually. Well, okay, one success. That was unfortunately a missed shot.
Dang, he's known for being such a good fighter.
Quite. Unlucky roll, there you got a 19.
I was say he's a better fighter than another.
Hey.
So, that was essentially what we equate to the surprise round, and you managed to take one guy out, and one guy is on the way out. So this is the first proper round of combat. So, one of you guys gets to go first. Who's it going to be?
Technically, this is the first round, then, isn't it?
More or less. So if you want to reactivate quick to action, then yes, you still get the cost ignoring, but that does mean that we go now into two of you, one of mine, one of yours, one of mine, one of yours, one of mine, etc. Blah, 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 blah. So, again, who's going first? Is Andrew's going to go first like before, or is Nova going to try and take out the Jem'Hadar warrior she's on?
Captain will take the lead again then.
Okay, cool. I'd just like to happily mention, for those who have characters that don't feel that they're very adept at the combat stuff, that you can decide to go together and one aids the other if it makes it easier.
Oh,
So that
okay.
Two guys trying to cooperatively take down the same target can happen. You don't have to definitely go on the same turn. Your own turn, one after the other. But if the captain is going first, then we do the captain first. Boom. Name your target.
Back left.
Back left. So that is ooh. Not a success. Unfortunately, that hits the nearby wall and doesn't manage to make contact with the Jem'Hadar warrior, I am afraid. Oh, actually, I can give you a bit of assistance here and retroactively do something. Because you didn't use your quick action, what you could say is that you used your quick action to aim. In which case, you can re-roll one dice if you do the aim action.
Yeah, why not?
So in this, and you have accurate. Now the weapon does have accurate, but now you've got 3 successes, which means that you definitely hit. And you throw an extra one into the momentum pool. Now, type 3s do 5. If you wanted to, you could spend 2 momentum to add an extra point of damage.
Yeah, why not?
Cool. I will take 1 extra. And you can take 2 momentum. Alright, well. Boink, boink. Bing! Cool, so a bit of extra damage. So, those of you who are now going to be firing from cover, you do have options with your quick action, which is either tune your phaser, so that you can use either the intense or the area effect settings, or of course you can use the minor action to do aim, and that'll allow you to re-roll some of your hit attempt. And because Andrews is using quick to action, one of you guys can go next. So who is going next? Is it going to be Natik, or is it going to be Nova trying to capitalize on the past successes? Or are we going to try somebody else?
The Teak's gonna go after Nova because I want to see if we can take out the one they're fighting, and if they take it out in close combat, there's no point shooting it.
Okay. In that case, we activate Nova! So this guy's now aware of your presence, therefore he is going to try and put up a fight.
Ready?
So, you dinged him so hard across the head with the bat that he's all over the place. So it's oh no,
Numerous too. That one I will use my.
Legion of Honor. Okay, but you did make contact. You needed 0 successes to hit him because he flailed so wildly, which means 1 success does manage you a hit, which means that can go into the momentum pool. And you can do a standard 3 damage. If you want, you can spend 2 momentum to add 1 point of damage, or you can leave it as is.
Is that 1 left on him?
It's 2.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. How do I
Okay.
roll that? Yeah.
All right then. So now it's one of them. Let's go with Silly Boy here, the one who got his head dinged quite spectacularly. He is going to attack Nova back. Let's see if he does any better than last time. Now, because these guys have got the trait, or the talent, I should say, brute force, unarmed strikes have the intense and deadly quality, which means they only need to spend 1 threat to up damage rather than 2. So, but Nova is aware of this guy's attempt, so Sean, if you can roll Daring and Security as a map of how difficult Nova is to hit for this guy. 3! Jeez. Okie dokie. And I get 2! So he fails to actually hit Nova at all. So there's a flurry of wild swings with the bladed attachment to the end of his plasma rifle, but other than that, he makes no contact with the shot at all. So whom of you goes next? Is it Natik's
Yep.
turn now?
Right, so, based off that amount of damage, I think Edwards can finish them off.
Right.
So, let's try and take out that guy at the top left before he can alert the Vorta.
Right. Like I said, you can either use your minor action to aim, which will allow you to reroll a dice, or you can use it to change the settings on your phaser in order to either gain the intense quality, or the armor piercing quality, or the area effect quality. Now I can tell you that they have only a small amount of resistance via armor.
Right, what's intense do again?
It allows you to spend 1 momentum to up the damage by 1 rather than 2.
Let's switch it to intense.
Alright then. So it's still going to be difficulty 2 to hit.
Right. Yeah, there's no point going in determination yet.
Okie dokies.
I have got phaser weapons.
You do. Oof.
That's a shame.
That is a big... Apparently this corner is really difficult to hit. Both the captain and Natik missed the Jem'Hadar warrior in that case, so he's obviously got really good cover.
Obviously, the sights just aren't right on these rifles.
Well, they need a bit of adjustment.
I mean, you could aim for a 1 and use accuracy, right?
Yeah, so accuracy allows you to roll both, re-roll both dice. But you tuned it to be intense this time, so maybe next time aim. Right,
Yeah,
so when...
What
was that, sorry?
I was just insulting Natik.
Right, so it's one of them next. He is going to pull back and try and cover the door to the Vorta. And as such, he hasn't got a huge amount of cover there, but he's going to try and shoot anyway. But who will he shoot at? He's going to give... No, Well, I can't decide, so I'm just going to roll a d2. On a 1, it's going to be Natik. On a 2, it's going to be Andrews. You can see them both there. Andrews, okay. So this Jem'Hadar soldier up here is going to try and shoot at Andrews. Andrews is behind cover. How does that work again? Where's the Starfleet source book? Wrong one. It's in here somewhere. The Klingon Tactical Campaign. There we are, the reference to that. What am I looking at? Cover. Cover. What does cover do for you again? That's shaken. Determine damage. Resolve attack. Right. Oh, this is Starship attack. My mistake. Recovery and healing. Major actions. Minor actions. Determination. Right, here we are. If the attack is opposed task, where's range attacks? There they are. Attempt to control and security task. If the target has cover from the attack, then this becomes an opposed task resisted by the target's own control and security. Right. So, Andrews, your own control and security roll, please, to give me the difficulty that the Jem'Hadar soldier has for hitting. Here's Webby back. Alright then. Can we have... Who fancies wearing the hat of blame and taking control of Andrews for a minute?
Sounds like a nice job.
He's second in command.
Bertram.
Yeah, sounds like a Bertram job.
Go on in, Gareth.
Okay. Right, Andrews throws some energy-eating moss.
So we're looking for control and security from Andrews to represent her using cover to make it harder for the Jem'Hadar to hit her. So
Battlefield tactics as a...
Sure, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. And you said it was control security, wasn't it?
Yes, please. 2 successes. Nice. So this makes it more difficult for the Jem'Hadar soldier who is shooting. Okay. Yep, gets only 1. Now, according... Ooh, just in time, Webby. So, Andrews was just shot at by this Jem'Hadar warrior whilst she was behind cover. Therefore, she ducked out of the way just in time to avoid the attack. Now, with 2nd edition rules, if you are behind cover and you beat, or you rolled enough that the attacker doesn't beat your roll, you can spend 2 momentum to counter-attack.
What's that momentum at?
4.
4. We're happy if we spend.
Yep. I'm happy.
So you can take another shot at the very guy that shot at you.
You know what? I'm going to spend my determination then this time.
Oof.
He's angry now.
Andrew smash!
Do I only roll one die, don't I? But use...
Roll 1 dice, tag that you're using the determination, yes, because it replaces a dice. Which I think I like betting, as it allows you to add more dice that way. 3 successes, which was... he's not got cover, so it was 1 over and above what you needed, so that is 5... Oh, he's almost down. But that was a good example of a counterattack. Who's next out of you guys? Cruz, Ori, Edwards. Was that less than your control? No.
No, control's 11.
Dang it. Would Edwards like to go next?
Yeah,
or
that's
would
it.
Ori and Edwards like to go together
Sure.
in order to aid each other? Or one
I mean,
aid
I was
the
going
other.
to direct my hits to the left-hand side of the room.
I
Yeah.
always liked.
So we are activating both Ori and Edwards. So Ori is helping Edwards, or Edwards is help. Well, if Edwards is using the sound gun, then it sounds more like Ori is assisting Edwards' shot. So, and since cover doesn't work against the sound gun, it's a flat difficulty of 2. So, Mike, if you roll me a control and security with 1 dice.
Okay.
And Alex, you're rolling 2. Oh, you've already got what's needed, so whatever Mike rolls is gravy on the boat, which is an extra success, so you gain 1 momentum. So,
Are they two? Is it two? Is it the left-hand side? It's people in the room I can hit. So if I used 2 momentum, would I hit everyone?
Yes.
How salty would Nova be?
Who knows?
Only one way to find out.
I mean, we're doing for expedience rather than one-upmanship.
Quite.
So I'll use 3.
And the sound gun does 3, so 3 off of Nova's opponent. Knocks this guy out. 3 off of the guy up above. That didn't take. Why didn't it take? You have to press enter, Matt. Takes that guy out, and 3 off of the one that Cruz is taking on means that he has a headache, but he's still active. But nicely done. Ori laying down covering fire means that Edwards is able to pop up at just the right moment and unleash a big sound gun blast that knocks 2 of them down. You've only got 1 remaining in this room.
What's going on inside the control room, by the way? What are the first and the mortar doing?
The Vorta and the First looks like they are yelling into comms. Bearing in mind this is the first couple of seconds of action that's going on, so they're only now aware of what's going on, and they are yelling into comms and discovering that it's not having any effect. One of them goes next, which is going to be the Jem'Hadar warrior in front of Cruz. So Cruz has to roll a daring and security check to resist the Jem'Hadar warrior.
Is this unarmed combat or?
Yes, definitely.
2 successes.
2 successes, right. This guy takes out his blade in order to stick Cruz, but let's see if he manages, because she's quite wily. With 2. He gets 2 as well, so he gets what he needed to inflict damage. He's using a blade which does 3, so Cruz will have to spend 3 stress to avoid an injury.
Oh, I'm gonna have him.
Right, we now know that Gareth needs to occasionally release his anger.
To be
Letting
fair,
play Cruz.
I'm just playing the character that Matt created.
Speaking of, it's now Cruz's turn.
I'm gonna boot him in the crotch and powerbomb him. So yeah, this is gonna be unarmed combat.
But they don't.
Oof.
Yeah, that sounds about right for the character.
I don't even need to roll his resistance. Okay. Actually, does counterattacks don't work with melee attacks, do they? They might, actually. Let's see what he gets. Daring and security as his resistance was 2. She failed. He is going to spend 2 threat in order to counterattack.
This is where he misses and she...
Stuck in a loop.
yeah, it's just sticking a perpetual loop of neither of them hitting each other.
Well, let's find out, shall we? Gareth, give me another daring and security roll. Nah, he sticks her. He manages to stab her with a blade. That's another 3. She is not looking good. She started to lose her cool. It's becoming a bit stressful. Right, so who's left? The Vorta Overseer is screaming into comms, wondering why nothing is happening. His observation focus means that he sees that there's Starfleets in here, and he's in troubles. Meanwhile, the Jem'Hadar first is going to use his one minor action to take up his weapon, and another minor action to get near the door, ready to come out, but he's not actually going to burst out yet. Next round.
This is the Vorta currently.
Or actually, it's more like, why is no one helping me? Right, one of you goes first.
They tried copying Klot's button technology and it's not working for them.
Damn those derivative Dominion. Good old Jeffrey Combs. Right, who of you goes first? The captain, or is Nova moving to take out somebody else? Maybe give Cruz a hand, I don't know. Or
Nova,
take on the
quick,
Jem'Hadar first.
Nova should come over and kill Steel from Cruz.
I think Nova's focus would be on getting in the room.
Okie dokie. So,
Yeah, as with Andrew's focus.
Yeah.
So who's going first? If nobody is determined...
So these two have time to argue it out?
Natik, so these two have time to argue it out. Okay.
But there's a door on each side, just one on each.
Well, yeah, quite.
Yeah, I think it would be a case of,
Natik,
Is
off
there
you
one?
go.
Right.
Gain some momentum for the team.
Alright. Natik is aiming.
Right. And a phaser rifle has got
And-
accurate. It's
Yep.
still on the same setting it was last time, which is intense.
And crew is Hive, and Hive must be protected. That crew member's definitely hurt and needs help.
Right.
Why is Natik in a tent?
Natik's always in a tent. You just never noticed.
In a tent?
In tent?
Dice,
Oh, intense. Sorry.
dice
I
number
got
goes
there
down to
eventually.
1. To 1, correct? I'm using determination. Does it stay at 2 and it figures it out?
It's lower the number of dice by 1 because the determination takes the place of one of the dice.
Okay.
Oof. 3 successes. So that was a successful shot. Which does 5 damage. If you wanted to, you can spend 1 momentum to do extra damage, or you can spend all your momentum to take him down in 1 shot.
Let's spend it all and take him down in 1 shot.
Alright then. Ba-boom! That's all the momentum gone from the pool. So, right, next up is one of...
You can't take credit for a Natik attack.
I think you mean I shouldn't take credit. I think I could try.
Let me see. There's nothing he can do, so I am going to activate the Jem'Hadar first, who is going to pop out of the room and is going to shoot. And the first one he can shoot is somebody who's not in cover, which is Nova. And Nova has no cover, therefore it is a flat difficulty of 2. And I'm going to use combat tactics for this.
There's a little mint in the plastic tub, right?
Oof, I am going to spend 1, 2, 3 threat to reroll that.
Complication, he just shoots the water.
Right,
This
3
isn't going to
successes.
look well on my report, is it?
Well, I
So
said that my evaluation was next week, was it, Vortiglat? What a shame. I passed.
The founders wish to know, how did the Vorta die to a Jem'Hadar weapon? It was an airlock malfunction.
Tic Tacs, yes indeed. Right, so Nova has to spend 5 stress in order to avoid injury. He didn't use aim, so accurate doesn't matter, and debilitating only comes into play if she takes an injury. So, yeah. So, Nova barely avoids that shot, but nevertheless, who wants to go next then? Andrews or Nova? If it's a case of a competition between the two, then it seems Nova has won the initiative roll, so Nova could technically go first by dint of the higher... Is it a higher daring? No, they're equal daring. Not sure.
Yeah, I feel like Nova would want to punch him back right now, so...
Righty. Activating Nova. He's in the same...
The same damage and an armed strike. Like,
was that, sir?
here's this shot. A duck tag has a damage output of 2, and an armed strike has a damage output of 2. It's like, here is my fist. Here is a sharp knife. Urgh. They do the same.
Whoops-a-daisy. And his resistance to that is much more than you got. So, with that complication, I am going to take the extra threat so that I can then spend 2 threat to retaliate. But because he's got his plasma rifle, he hasn't had the time to affix the blade, he's just going to go unarmed strike. So, daring and security, so can I have Nova's daring and security as a resistance? As this intense back and forth go, oh no! Nova got hit by sparks from an exploding panel nearby when the Jem'Hadar's shot went off. So she's seeing stars and is going to see some more. Right, so an unarmed strike from a Jem'Hadar has the intense and deadly quality. So I am going to spend another threat to up the damage to make it 3. 3 stress for Nova to avoid injury. Oh, Kragite Order of Heroism. You may avoid injury for free! Okay, nice. Nice. Now it's the Vorta's turn. What is the Vorta going to do? How many? Now, I've already established there's no way out from there, so...
Run to his death.
Just Zoidbergs out the room.
Well, indeed. He is going to use his manipulative talent and his deception focus. If the character purchases one or more d20 to attempt to task. Right, so I have to purchase an extra dice first, so there goes another threat. Using some very choice deceptive words, the Vorta Overseer goes for a grand deception against everybody and gets 3 successes, which is pretty
Grand
hot.
deception.
So,
the face goes, you can't see me.
so he makes as if the Vorta makes as if he is going to go one way where he does in fact go another, and does manage to, let's say, secrete himself in such a way that everybody loses sight of him momentarily, unless they go actively looking for him. In the meantime, the Jem'Hadar first is taking on Nova and winning. Which of you goes next? Andrews, Ori, Cruz, Edwards?
I probably would say that Andrews would go after the water.
Okay,
At the same time, is that Nova's not looking good in this fight.
Nova was doing far much better against a regular Jem'Hadar soldier, but yeah, Jem'Hadar first seems to be something else entirely.
Yeah, I'll order the Teak to find him, and then Edwards and Ori to assist. I'm getting Cruz to secure, or Ori to secure the door. Edwards and Cruz to assist the Teak, and then can I move, aim, and shoot?
If you don't have any momentum, sadly.
Okay.
If you had momentum, you could spend a momentum to do 2 minor actions.
No worries. I thought you could sacrifice a major, but that's fine. So I'll stay where I am and just shoot from here then. But I'll be aiming.
Good question. Are you aiming?
Yes. Yeah,
So if you are aiming, then you can re-roll attack dice.
Oh.
Everything okay?
Yep.
I just heard a groan.
Die.
I'll definitely be re-rolling that one.
A lot of 20s happening tonight. Re-rolls it to be a 2. That's a 3, so that was a... He's got no cover, really, so it's a 2, so he gets 1 momentum back. So he's going to spend stress to avoid taking that injury. But that was a good shot from Andrews. And you've got a momentum back in the pool now. No one of them can go, so it's either Cruz, Ori, or Edwards, or Ori and Edwards collaboratively doing something.
Well, I was told to secure the door.
Yes, you were. So what's the plan here, guys?
Yes. What's my plan?
What were the orders again? It was Teak is searching. Was it us two to secure the door? Did you say, or us two to help?
You and Cruz.
Help
to support the Teak.
Actually,
So you're all actively looking for where the Vorta went.
Part of me is thinking, do we want to take the opportunity for Edwards to start downloading what he can from the servers?
No.
That's a good point.
No, secure the area first, because if he gets out, or if he manages to teleport away...
Right. Okay, so all 3 can collaboratively try and find where the Vorta went. So Edwards, Ori, and Cruz. Let's see, I am looking for...
Ooh. Actually thinking, would now be an interesting time to use that preloaded sonar thing, but would the room be too big? But rather than a blast, have it as more of a constant. Just not
a constant screech.
It'd be quick action to like tune it down to like the low one rather than it be the loud thing and then fire out. Or would this be? It was just not quite the time.
Up to you.
It would probably help on assist on finding.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
All right then. So from Edwards, it sounds like he's going to be leading this then, and you are doing control and engineering, tinkering with your sound gun here to emit a sonic pulse. So for Ori and Cruz, you're going to be looking out, trying to help out with what's going on there. So from both Ori and Cruz, we're looking for 1 dice and insight and security, I suppose. Actually, for Ori, since he's got empath, I'm going to say insight and medicine, because he can try and pinpoint the Vorta's emotional state. Oh, it was almost a 20, but it was a 2. And Cruz got 3. So yeah, all right. That's 1 back in the momentum pool. You found him. He's hiding amidst the between a couple of servers. All right.
The guy, or are we trying to brutally shoot him so he can't cause any more
Next
trouble?
turn. Well, that's a good question. One of
I
you
was
goes
about to
first.
say, at this point in time, do we know about that they have the kill switch for when they think they're going to get captured?
No. Actually, no, you do, because if you remember back, the parlay with Footfall, the planet entity,
Oh yes, they did it there.
they all suicided. So you know it, they're capable of doing such. So, whom of you goes first? Or is it going to be Nova and Andrews again? Or is it going to be Natik? Mike votes for Andrews or Nova.
I'm happy to know.
Nova. Okay, let's see if Nova can do better. So if I roll for the Jem'Hadar first. Resisting. Ooh. 2 successes. Almost got a 20, but it was a 19. Alright then, Nova, come on, let's do... Oh my god! What is up with Nova? I am not going to retaliate. I'm going to keep the threat, though. Oof. So yes, Nova has met her match in a Jem'Hadar first, it seems. I'm not going to bother retaliating because I'm going to have the Jem'Hadar first go next unless someone spends momentum to take the initiative from me. But that will empty your momentum pool.
I'd probably be tempted to do so, because it looks like Nova is not doing well.
2 momentum lets you keep the initiative. So, Andrew's going for it?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
Aiming again.
Aiming, okay, cool. So you can re-roll both if necessary. And I think you really need to.
It's ridiculous.
There are so many 20s coming here. That's better. A 4 and a 1, which you needed a 2 because he's not behind cover, so that is 2 momentum that goes in, and that's exactly what you need to do. Extra damage, so he needs to use 5 stress to avoid injury. You could spend those 2 momentum to add an extra point of damage, or save it.
I think it's going straight for the damage on this.
Straight for damage? Alright, take him off, and I will take an extra point of damage off. Alright. One of them now, which means the Vorta. Curiously, the Vorta is not carrying any weapons whatsoever. Ooh, what does a Vorta do? Alright. He is going to come out with his hands up and suggest that he is a lot more valuable to you alive. And he is going to burn a point of determination to make it so. So, whether or not any of you believe him, I mean, that was a pretty hefty... Well, you do believe him.
He's very convincing.
You at least believe that this guy values his own life enough that he's willing to surrender and doesn't want to die.
It's very unwater. Like,
Oh no, they're cowards.
He might be on his last
clone.
clone.
Mm.
We don't know.
One of you
I do
goes
miss-
next.
I do miss Wayu 7.
I miss Wayu 7. Whom of you would like to go next? Natik, Cruz, or I, Edwards?
I feel like Cruz is at least naive enough to try and arrest him.
Sure.
So,
What does
okay,
Gareth think?
I'll go up and have Mariana try and actually sort of like, you know, kind of arm behind the fin, sort of dramatically bring him back to present to the captain. Look what I captured.
Okay, cool. In that case, yeah, the Vorta does not put up any kind of fight. You do not have bindings of any kind on your person, but it's just holding it one arm behind his back in a hammerlock, or a semi-hammerlock will at least do.
That's a
So,
good
yes.
point. What was our exit strategy?
Like we thought that far ahead.
What?
Exit strategy.
Well, that sums that up,
Vibers
really,
has
doesn't
an
it?
exit strategy.
Vibers does. Vibers is back on the ship.
The Navis is powered down with sort of like. It's not going to be difficult to have a transporter lock to get us out of there, and then it just powers up to full power and runs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking.
Yeah, the Navis crew bravely ran away.
Alright, so the Vorta Overseer has gone. Cruz went next, and well, he puts up no resistance whatsoever, so it's wherever you want to walk him to. Since Cruz can use 2 minor
well away
actions to move.
Well away from the door.
So where do you want to move him to? Ping a spot. All the way up there. Okie dokie.
Yeah.
So Cruz, move yourself up there, please. Unless Gareth has left us.
Right.
Nope, you're back with us. Cool.
Sorry, had a bit
In
of
which
a-
case, it's the
Go in.
Jem'Hadar first's turn. He's hanging on by a thread, but he's not going to go down quietly. Victory is life! Whenever a Jem'Hadar inflicts an injury or achieves an objective, add a threat. Hasn't inflicted an injury yet, so can't use that. Just going to go hand to hand, but it's going to use the value. We are dead. We go into battle to reclaim our lives. So, daring and security against Nova's. Ooh, twin 11s. Nice. I roll 1 less dice. He gets a 2, which means he gets a 4, which means he gets 2 over. Which means an armed strike of 2. And I am going to use his intents to make that a 3. Whom of you goes next? Natik or I, Edwards?
I think the T.
Natik!
Aim and shoot. So re-rolls double flipping 20s on both on the re-roll as well. One shot's Nova. Nova knew her killer. It was Natik.
Oh,
all the missions that Bertram's been there and nobody's been touched. He's not here and everyone's having the crap kicked out of them.
Well, no. Nova is having the crap kicked out.
And you've forgotten Cruz has taken several stabbings.
Yeah, I don't really care about Cruz.
Natik, so
I've
Davis,
not-
if
I've
you
not
would.
bothered- I've not been bothered to learn her name yet.
Definitely a spy is what her name is.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely what I'm getting the impression.
Crew, I spell that name Tenenbaum.
She's got a mustache.
Pulls off the false face, and yes, it's indeed Tannenbaum underneath.
If it was, then oh my god, there's been a casualty. Oh, what a shame. What's that?
Davis,
He
you
was
still with
punching
us?
there with a cybernetic fist.
Who are
Ike,
you checking is still here?
you, because it's Natik's turn.
Ah. Not so bad. Right. Well, there is a porter over there.
But there is a Jem'Hadar first who is going toe-to-toe with Nova and only needs a good shot to put him down.
Nova does look a little bit flaky at the moment.
Yaha.
Okay.
Flaky's an understatement.
So if you
Right,
aim...
aiming again, because
Yep.
I've been told aiming is a good thing. Don't know why, can't be that important.
So you got a 20, you might want to re-roll that.
Ooh.
He's determined to give me that 20.
So, because Nova doesn't come with her own kill switch, we have to do it manually to make sure she doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Natik does not have Legion of Honor, so...
It's okay. He probably won't kill Nova. He'll just shoot the server and get rid of all the data we were hoping to steal.
Huh.
Why did you say that?
Because
I'm not
I'm
gonna do
apparently getting really into characters' crews and finding the worst possible suggestions.
What I'm going to do is Natik's shot...
Nova's not out cold, isn't she? She's not dead.
Yeah, Nova will be defeated, as will the Jem'Hadar first. What I'm going to say then is, because you had two 20s in succession there, a definitive complication, Natik, once again, out of stress of seeing that one of the crew, and therefore one of the Hive, is in dire jeopardy, he kind of overdoes it, overcooks the shot. The shot impacts the wall behind both Nova and the Jem'Hadar first, which actually catches an EPS conduit, which causes the conduit to blow out, causing both Nova and the Jem'Hadar first to lose both of their remaining stress, knocking them both out.
Oops.
So, Nova is for the moment defeated.
Oh, who's the medic in the group? Oh, Natik.
Orion Edwards, you're up.
I have medicine
Yes, you do.
and combat medicine.
Yes, you do.
I have no. Actually, you go first, and then
Yeah, you
Edwards will
secure-
hit the server.
Yeah, no, secure the door.
Alright, secure a door.
Well, no, so like, or I could go for the medic. Edward, secure the door first.
Alright,
There's
who
two
wants
doors, isn't there?
It's a double
This
door.
door.
You just override the door.
Oh,
open
this
mechanism.
one. Sorry,
Yes.
I thought you meant like down here. Okay, yeah. Yeah, lock the. Basically override it. Make it. Basically lock it down so people can't come in through the back.
Okie spokey. Now, second edition did have something about regaining stress. I can just find it. Right. The main character can sustain a maximum amount of stress equal to that. You use that to avoid injury. Stress and avoiding injury is this. Recovery and healing. Recovering stress. What was recovering stress? Because an injury is an injury, and that's all well and good, but they did introduce new means of recovering stress, if I can just find it. Aha. Okay, so Ori needs to get up to where Nova's at, which is over yonder. And you're going to need to give me a think it's control and medicine. Let's see what field... Combat medic, pardon me. When attempting a medicine task during combat, you may pick one trait which increases the difficulty of the task and ignore it. And at the moment nothing is making it more difficult, so it's just going to be a flat control and medicine. Do you have any foci? No, you don't, so it's all on talent alone.
That is true. Well, let's see.
Yes, indeed.
Oh no, guys.
They don't like us much today.
Really don't like you tonight.
I don't know if Alright has spent his Legion of Honor, but
I don't think he has.
Doing so.
This really would be a good time to spend one of your Legion of Honors if you've still got them.
Well, this is what a Betazoid's insides look like. Oh, they should be on the outside, should they? No, Alright, they should not be. Are you going to put them back in? Maybe.
Alright, so with that one success, Ori manages to stabilize Nova so that she can be moved. But recovering stress is going to have to take place somewhere that's not here. So you need to get out of the immediate hazard zone in order to have any kind of chance of Nova getting back up and running again.
Does that help? No.
So, that was Ori, and Edwards is barring the door. Okay. So you've taken out the Jem'Hadar first, you've got the Vorta Overseer in custody, and you've got someone minding the doors. What would you like to do? And you've got not much time. You can definitely hear the rapid approach of heavy boots. Now, thanks to Edwards being on the door, it'll be harder for them to open, but yes, you came here for a reason.
Download that data.
And Vibers back on the Navis can see that the battle cruiser is very close to docking with the Comare.
We will swap round. I will instruct Natik, as he also has medical attention, to look after Nova.
Right.
Cruz and I will hold the door, whilst
Okay.
Edwards or I go about downloading as much information as possible.
Are we doing anything about that water?
He's offering himself as a prisoner of war. I'd say that he's checked to see if he's actually got any kind of like trackers, transponders on him or anything.
Alright, who's doing the check-in?
Probably. Well, yeah, Captain's on the door. So Cruz then.
Okay.
You sent the unqualified ensign to check for problems.
All right, then
This
fine.
is gonna
Ensign,
go well.
Yeah, okay, fine. The ensign holds the door. Edwards and all right, I need to move everyone around so that not.
Yes, that would help.
There we go. That's over there. So the Teak is trying to get Nova conscious. Andrews is fleecing the
Vorta.
Vorta.
Okay.
We know that they've got a kill switch on them, don't we?
Yes.
Did we know how to deactivate it from our? Because we did take them on board, didn't we?
The bodies, yes.
Yeah, we
I
took
don't
the
know
bodies
whatever
on
happened
board.
to them.
Well, they were handed over Starfleet intelligence.
Yes, so you are aware that there's some kind of implant in their skull which they push to detonate whatever it is that kills them outright. The Vorta, as far as what he intends or anything like that... Okay. He assures, the Vorta assures Andrews that he is valuable and worth keeping around because he has potential information that could be shared, but he's not going to do so here. He'd rather wait until you're in a more secure location, like on board your ship.
I was say, is this something that the captain can roll to challenge that to see if we see through it?
Insight and command.
It's not insight. Come on, presence. Insight.
Insight to see if you can tell.
Yeah. Alright, okay. Can I use diplomat by consequence then to see when?
Sure. It's diplomat by consequence is the fact that Andrews has had to learn how to be a diplomat, so, and therefore has to learn when somebody is pulling your chain.
I'm gonna buy an extra die one momentum if that's alright for everyone.
We've got momentum to spend, might as well.
We've only got 2. If we need a hasty escape, it's very limited.
Yeah, the escape isn't a problem.
Oops, wrong way.
Turn the power back on and run.
As simple as that. Nice.
I mean, we haven't really turned it off.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is having the dark matter drive prime, just slowly ready to charge.
Oof, that is going to be an interesting one. Oh, look at those rolls.
Yay!
Right. Andrews is fairly certain that the Vorta is buying time. Is going to look to get away the first moment it's got, and if it can't, the Vorta is probably... I say it. The Vorta, he will likely barter his way in, but these guys are canny enough that you think he's going to play the system. He's going to try and find out more about you than you are about him.
Not going to play the system. Can I break his arm?
Sure!
Snap!
Yeah.
And yet, when the Teak accidentally breaks a prisoner's arm, you tell him off.
This is a Vorta, he's got a clone.
New injury, broken arm. Okay. Alright, snap. You hear everyone hears a very loud cry of pain as the Vorta just collapses to the floor with his arm twisted in a direction that it shouldn't have gone. Meanwhile, can I get Ori and Edwards to give me... Ooh, now. Ordinarily this would be really difficult, but you have made concerted separate attempts. Both Ori and Edwards have managed to break into the system, so now it's a case of... You're just taking the data. Cool.
I say, download data as well as I'd probably eliminate whatever backdoors and things we use, because there'd be examples of our own coding and thinking, so it'd be basically have self-destruct, so to speak, on the coding, not on the
remove any
system.
of your footprints. Gotcha.
Yeah. So it'd be after we've done, it would just be like as we're escaping, it removes traces.
Is this a command post? Or a relay station?
This is a comm relay station.
Can we jam the comms? And just send out garbage on all frequencies?
Yeah, potentially. Okay.
And basically jam up their network so that they now can't coordinate.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but let's just jam it with the word we should surrender.
Yeah.
We should do something.
We should do something.
Should we do something?
Or should we do it as go home? And just see how much chaos it causes for the Vorta to have to countermand their own orders.
Alright, so we want to download data, remove all traces, and also start this thing broadcasting something other than what it should be broadcasting. That makes that a difficulty 3 to me from both Ori and Edwards. Ori gets a free dice, so he still gets to roll 2, even though he
I was thinking on
aids.
the scenarios, why don't we just do it so it changes orders going through ever so slightly, so but leave it subtle, so it keeps on sending through things, but we've put it in some sort of subroutine, so it might change like a 1 to a 2 or a left to a right, that kind of thing.
Yeah, something really simple like shifts all coordinates one system to the left.
Yeah, so that way it will keep on going, so rather than they'll know something's wrong immediately, it will take them a little bit longer to figure it out.
I like it. Alright, it's now up to difficulty 4.
Oh,
But-
great.
Spend your
But
determination.
you've Orai's got determination left, and there's a point of momentum in the pool. Plus, Orai gets a free dice anyway, thanks to his computer expertise. So, 2 dice from Edwards, or 3 dice if he uses momentum, and Orai can use 2 dice. So yeah, you may as well use the full 5. And if
or I could 2 dice.
one of those, if you spend your determination, one of those can be a guaranteed 1.
I'm assisting them, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Unless you want to take charge.
No, I don't want
Okay.
to blame for this. Alright, so control and what? Or is it control? Or
Control and computer science for you, so control and science.
Okay.
You get to roll 2 dice, and actually, no, roll 1 dice, but check the determination box.
Okay, hold on. So check it now.
Yeah. I said it was... Oh! Woo! Oh no, that's someone else's roll from previous. I'm not paying attention.
Do I get to use a focus?
Yes, you do.
So I'm rolling 1 die.
You're rolling 1 dice, but check the determination box, and you are rolling with focus.
Yay.
Okay, so that's actually 3 successes.
And so, am I rolling separate, or am I rolling the 1 to assist?
You are the lead in this, so you're rolling 2
okay.
dice, but there's 1 momentum left in the pool, so you could conceivably roll 3.
Okay.
Why? What did determination do for me?
It gave you a
Added
dice
more
that...
successes.
Yeah, it added it rolls a dice that automatically rolls a 1.
Okay.
So that netted you 3 successes, and as such, Edwards nets 2, which is exactly the 5 you needed, so you input all the junk data and the subroutine that will change messages subtly. Changing every message that goes through.
Once they've cleared up the junk data strategies, then yeah, the data that comes out of here is garbage anyway, because it's, like you say, it's knocked off the sync. Oh.
Yeah. So you have now sown the seeds of chaos. Well done. Very well done. Now all that's left is get the hell out of here.
Does this thing have any shields up?
Not really, it's a communications array.
Oh, good.
Speaking of,
Well, on the Navis, it's
that
nice
ship
and
is getting
quiet.
really close now.
one's-
It's moving into dock. Sorry, Davis, what was that?
Yeah. No one's told me anything
Nope.
back on the Navis, so it's nice and quiet, and I have no idea where they're up to.
Nope. However, go on, Webby.
No, I think that the data streams that the Navis is picking up would be obvious that something's happened, and then I'm pretty sure now that we've done this, is that there will be a request for emergency beam out.
Alright, so we've got at least an Nova who is injured. Will require being seen to. Other than that, so it is an emergency beam out. Yes, no?
Yeah.
And we bring it. Yeah, we bring in the Vorta. I think we need to bring the Vorta with us.
Bring the
don't we?
Vorta with as well. Okay, bringing the Vorta
He's going straight to the brig.
straight to
Yeah.
brig.
Keep
Straight to the
him
front.
bound so he
Back
can't
hold.
activate the kill switch.
Straight to the brig, and he's going to be made to stand up, holding his broken arm above his head at all
Actually,
times.
Doctor, can you knock him out?
Alright, so
Chemically sedate him till we're out the system.
Yeah. Also, does he have any kind of transponder or tracker on him?
doesn't appear to, no. But you never can be sure with Vorta.
Well, I've still got my tricorder that's blocking scanners on.
Yes, you do, so that will,
Yeah, we'll
that will
just
help.
We'll keep that on him. So we'll keep that near him, so it's just pinging that it's going in.
Okay.
He's not getting any.
Needless to say, the moment your transporters activate and beam your crew and prisoner back, that's when your tactical team notice that the battle cruiser has stopped its docking procedure and is now actively scanning in order to activate your dark matter spore drive, you need to take the cloaking device offline because the cloaking device eats up too much power. So this is going to need to be quick. So back to the bridge! As the away team, barring the one who is in need of medical attention, the away team jump back onto the ship. And so, the rest. So we're going to need to do this very, very quickly. Let's see who we've got.
I have a plan for that.
Yes, you do. Okay, cool. Then, what's your plan?
My plan is engineering reactors to full, and we're gonna do the world's quickest switch over from the cloaking device to the Bifrost, and
Just
jump us.
Tell people to do better so far.
Yeah.
Is the plan.
convert all power from the divert all power from all systems to the Bifrost drive. Just overcharge it for that one-off.
Pretty
All
much.
right. So this is going to be down to.
Go for half an hour. It'll be fine.
This is going to be Viber's ability to coordinate the engineering teams and everyone doing power. So this is going to be your presence and command.
Yep. And for power, can I call upon Unit Hello? Because no one else is on board and competent at this point for those 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the away team's still in a turbo lift.
Alright then. So that uses
Always
your
get-
last summoned your support crew member. So yep, Unit Hello. So yes, Sean.
People directly to sickbay and the brig, but they can't transport people directly to the bridge. You know, like in an emergency situation, captain's going to turn up on the transport pad like, hello.
I
We can transport you to the bridge. It's just you transport to the bridge and there's already showing going on. No one's had a chance to tell you what's going on yet.
Yeah.
So let's have Unit Hello assist Vibers here by doing control and engineering with its focus of Nova operations training.
So you got a focus on Nova operations. Oh my
Yep.
god.
And it does it very well, does Unit Hello. So Vibers, it's now down to you. Using a point of determination as well. Everybody who does so, don't forget to note that you've done it.
Hello was never allowed to link to the ship, so it got taught manually.
Yep. So between the two of
I
them,
openly said to people I wanted to create a CDC and no one went for it, so it never happened.
and so
Central
with
Command, COC, sorry, Central Operations. Yeah,
Not
CIC.
central damage control. Good.
although
Yeah, should have wanted that too.
so in the matter of the seconds it takes the Jem'Hadar battleship and the patrol ships time to realize that there's somebody's there, as the ship decloaks, the 3 Jem'Hadar attack ships and the battle cruiser line themselves up ready to start shooting at the Navis, whose shields are down because of the cloaking device, and power is being thrown into the dark matter spore drive as quickly as possible, and disruptor beams and torpedoes get fired out, and they just miss as the Navis just jumps out and disappears in the nick of time. But now the Dominion know there's a ship that can do this.
Yeah, but we've gutted their secrets.
But
So-
this ship that disappeared was giving up all sorts of power readings that were definitely not what the Federation normally has.
Yeah,
Yeah.
power rates are off the chart. It's like, is that Federation?
You know what that means? The Dominion are going to research better charts.
Very good. So yes, if I can turn off the tension music here. All right. Well, this has been an unequivocal victory for you guys. You enacted... I pretty much came up with just the idea of what this episode was going to be about, and then I let you guys dictate how you were going to do it. So, all I had in my mind was the security measures they had in place, and maybe that complication of the battleship to throw in there too. But it was entirely up to you guys how you were going to accomplish this, and what you were going to accomplish. And what you've managed to do is pretty much exactly turned the tide of the battle in this sector at the very least. So the communications problem that the Dominion are going to have initially is going to throw any attempts that they are going to do to coordinate their forces in the area into complete disarray. As such, any attack they might have been planning to go for Minos Corva or anywhere nearby is now completely scuppered. They have to now spend the time they were going to use attacking the borders of the Federation to sorting out their new communication problem. And of course, you have left little things behind so that this problem continues on. So as a result, the operations of the Dominion in this area, and thereby the 20th Fleet's own operations against the Dominion, are going to be that much more successful from the Federation's side of things. At least it makes the Dominion find it much more difficult to coordinate, which is what you need to happen, at least in your part of this theatre of war. Because that's the Dominion's biggest strength, is their cohesion. So you have won a major victory in that regard. You conducted an off-the-cuff, a snap sabotage and intelligence gathering operation, or intelligence sabotage operation, that went off without a hitch, and who knows for how long it'll affect the Dominion. Only time will tell. But for now, that was a major victory, guys. Well done. So everyone is definitely getting an extra point of acclaim just for that.
It's a tricorder straight to Starfleet intelligence. Here, this is how to crack stuff. Guard this thing, and you
Yes, indeed. So you've got...
Here's a Vorta. They're currently out cold. You deal with it.
His arm was like that when we got there.
Don't let it touch his head.
This one's alive. Good luck.
So, Nova doesn't spend too long in sickbay. It was largely superficial. Light concussion, if anything else. Bruising from going toe-to-toe with a Jem'Hadar first. Likewise, Cruz just has a couple of bruises, but she's very terribly pleased with how she stood up to a Jem'Hadar warrior. And so Cruz spends the next interval between this episode and the next bragging to her fellow crewmates how well she did against a Jem'Hadar soldier, and goes round the ensign level of the crew, getting war stories from the Navis ensigns about how the Navis has gone up against the Borg as well as other Dominion ships.
At any point does she say that the Jem'Hadar were cruising for her boozing?
Well, now she is.
She's getting reprimanded for that.
Not for Badger the Plan, just for that pun.
Yeah.
I think as an ensign, she's also going to get a really nice job on her to-do list. You know all those EVA suits you were wearing? They need cleaned.
Oh yeah, the EVA suits that Nova and Cruz wore were properly wrecked. So yeah.
Yeah, they need repairing without replicators.
Needle and thread.
Oh, they need to be registered, every part that's broken, and what the repairs are needed, and swap the appropriate bits out and get them all recertified. We'll keep her busy for a good day or two.
Cool. So, as far as the stream goes, I'm going to draw it to a close, but fellas, we are not quite done just yet, so stick around. But for those who are watching the stream, thank you very much to those who did stick around and watched. We hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube afterwards and you did like it, then give us a like, because it helps not just us, but everybody to do with Star Trek and actual plays of role-playing games. Anything that helps promote us to our Lord and Master, the algorithm. Say it with me, folks. All hail the algorithm.
Hail the algorithm.
Do like the Vulcans do, which in this case is definitely back up your shipmates when they come across an idea to sabotage enemy communications. But also live long and prosper, engage in infinite diversity and infinite combinations, and we will see you when we see you next. Hailing frequencies are now closed.